What's up, guys? Hydra Friends here, back at it again with another video. In this video, guys, we're going to be discussing how Konami is destroying the game that we love, and of course, the implications it has on the community. So, a huge thing we're going to talk about here is the fact that Starlight rares, we talked about this in the last video a little bit, are replacing the quarter-century secret rares. You might be saying, how is that possible? Well, not too long ago, a few years ago, I guess at this point, Starlight rares will be replaced by quarter-century secret rares. Now, newly fresh meta quarter-century secret rares are now being replaced by Starlight rares. It's just a back and forth with them. And, overall, reprints are good, but when you have something that's very high price as a quarter-century secret rare and now it's getting replaced by something low that's just given out like candy and these megatins, it's just destroying the value of those cards. Either way you look at it, it's not a good reprint. When, a card like SP Little Knight here, when it was easily over $400 plus dollars, it's now 225, 244, 245. So again, it's just slowly just going down in price. And remember how amazing this card is. It's the best Link 2 in the current game for meta. And again, meta is slowly dying now because of all these bad sets that they are releasing, right? A lot of the collector's rares aren't even going up, increasing higher than 100 now. And even the modern set like Justice Hunter should have been a killer set, which it is, but the prices are not reflecting that because the community is not trusting Konami. So when we talk about Little Knight, right, we talk about Molcharming Polaria, another great reprint, but the fact that they just cram all of these cards in these tins just to go ahead and just, have people buy out these tins, because guess what? By next year, the year after, if we get that far, I hope we do, but if we get that far, these tins will be worth nothing. And that's crazy to say with all these cards in here, but that's just how the game is now with Konami. And you have to be very careful and, again, tread very careful with them because you can't, go buy into something and expect it to keep its value or increase. They're always just going to make something else. Now, with this video, it might be a little long, but I have tried to filter it out to different sections. So just stay with me. And of course, if you guys like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed to the channel. And of course, let me know down below what you guys think of this whole discussion. But getting straight into it, right? So just in terms of the product, it's a great product. I love the Megatins. They're my favorite product of the year because again, as a budget player for myself, it's great to get my hands on these cards that are always high priced. And it's great, I can now be part of the game, right? Or really be part of the game. When it comes to playing more just modern, I haven't played in a minute. I do have a few decks that I still favor, like Black Wings, L-Lidge, and I'll always try to just get the new support for it, update my decks, throw a deck profile for you guys and stuff like that. But when it comes to just playing consistently at tournaments, it has been a few years for me. But regardless, I still go to locals, I still enjoy sneak peeks. I enjoy everything about the game. As a collector, as a player too. So seeing the game that I love slowly being destroyed or just dying is, very concerning for me because I grew up with this game. I remember getting the first starter decks, like Yugioh and Kaiba. Actually, I did get Kaiba first. So it's just, again, it's crushing to see that. And we're gonna go into that further, but it's just that when we went through this the other day, I think it was on Tuesday, again, I was happy for these reprints, but at the same time, this section right here slowly kills it because it's prize card, already quarter-century secret rare. You have a lot of these problems already. Cool reprints as Starlight rares, okay, cool. Infinite Impermanence has a quarter-century secret rare in the first rarity collection set that did amazing, by the way. And it's a consistency you'll see. We'll start talking about that now, where now that the set is long gone, oh, let's just kill the value now because they don't care. They're not selling it anymore. So we talk about Infinite Impermanence, for example, right? This card used to be easily over $100. And I think in terms of just how the meta is right now with people's players' decks, it's not the most popular card, but it's still a great hand trap. And they just go, well, let's just go ahead and sell the tins even more because apparently everything in there is not going to sell the tins. Let's just make this a Starlight rare. Well, now you see the value here, $60. Slowly just going down. And it's a shame that they're doing this. At some point, it's going to be Ash Blossom as well in another set. And it's going to be a Starlight rare, and we're just going to be but why? Why are you doing this to the game? And I don't like to think like this because, overall, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And, I hope the direction where they're going with things is the right direction. But when the players are telling you, you know, hey, we play this game, we're telling you don't do this, and they're still doing it, it's just a bad trend down. So a lot of the cards here have just been dipping. And the other day I did notice Ancient Fairy Dragon going from like $25, $22 to $13. Again, a lot of these Quarter Century Secret Rares are on sale, but again, you have to be careful because people are expecting they're going to be getting a Starlight Rare version at some point next year or this year. So you have to just kind of keep that in mind as you go through this. We're going to our next point here. So the best sets that I remember, modern sets, were Rise of the Duelist, right? You had, of course, Appaloosa, Win the Wind Charmer, like Starlight Rares. You had, these were great sets, right? You had Rising Rampage, of course, in here. And Appaloosa to me was the best Starlight Rare, of course. Starlight Rare card for modern, right? It was like the hope. It was like, wow, you saw someone have it, either they pulled it or they spent a lot of money just trying to get that card. And, you know, it's around $300. And of course, this card's banned, right? It's not used in current modern. Now, it's not the best example, but if I were to just look at a card like, let's start talking about it now, Stardust Dragon, right? This card easily $500-600, even higher. Really, it was like $800. Look at this. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Has a cheap $10 Quarter Century Secret Rare. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's be honest. What are we doing here? Black Rose Dragon. I pulled this, by the way. I pulled this out of a case. I bought my first case. I opened it up. It was like the third box. I was so just like, I couldn't believe it. This is the card I want. I bought that case just for this card. I pulled it. I even got a sign too. And if you look down here, it's $170. Like, you have to laugh at these situations because I just don't understand. We even have them here. So my Black Rose Dragon that I got signed by Kiza herself. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like, now the sentimental value for it, right, will never go down for me because I pulled this myself and I didn't spend money, well, other than the case, to get it. But when it comes to something like Stardust Dragon, again, you can see it here. I paid more than that to get this, and it's collectability for me because I love 5Ds. I don't care. I'm gonna have these cards in my binders forever, you know, until I die or I try to sell them off, I guess, before then. But I will say this is kind of disgusting. When we look at Blackwing Dragon now, okay, not the best out of all three of them, of course. It was still $130. If you look down here, $32 for this card for a Signer Dragon that was a main card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds too. One of the, you know, Crow's monster. Like, I just don't understand it. If we look at this one, so Blackwing Dragon. This one I did buy for about, I want to say 80 or 90 at the time. And we actually have two because shout out to Yami Mars for people watching the video on Instagram. But I actually got this from her. She gifted it to me because I helped her, I think, twice with getting signatures. She sent cards to me. But see, again, it's sentimental value with this. So, like, I think when it comes to being a collector, you should be very careful in terms of not collecting Quarter Century Secret Rares, like modern Quarter Century Secret Rares, right? Non-nostalgic Quarter Century Secret Rares, because you don't know how Konami is going to react. Now, there are some safe bets, and we'll get into that very soon. But see, you have to also just have goals of what you want to do as a collector, right? For me, again, it's collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Signer Dragons. And I legit have all of the Signer Dragons in Ghost Rare. First edition, by the way. I'm just missing Black Rose Dragon. So if you guys know of a Black Rose Dragon that's selling for first edition, Ghost Rare, doesn't have to be near mint. You let me know, okay? That's the last one I need, and then I'm pretty much set for that at least. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys what's considered a safe bet, I guess you could say. So we look at the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection 2 set, right? What's safe here? So I'm going to get into that. Droll Lockbird, easily, what, $30, went to $45 at some point. It's going down, it's $22 right now for, you know, what this card does in the format. Crazy. But not safe bet. Now, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, specifically this version, Quarter Century Secret Rare, if this card comes back into our meta, this is, I would say, is a safe bet for now. Reason being is that it already has a Starlight Rare. The value has gone down with that, right? You can already tell. Now with this though, you can see that this is the Core Center Secret Rare. They can't remake the Starlight Rare again, unless that's another thing too. I don't know, but safe bet, I would say, that you could get if you want to use the meta collection. Again, you have to just hope that they don't reprint it again in some other type of rarity that's going to lower the value again. They could do that too. They could make a third rarity that just says no to Starlight Rares, Core Center Secret Rares. And, you know, again, I don't want to seem like a negative Nancy when it comes to this stuff, but it's just like, you see what's around you, and then you just kind of go like, wow, that's just terrible. I don't know why they're doing that. But you just try to hang on for the ride. So moving on to another example, we have Stampede here. And I have huge issues with Stampede. I love Stampede as a set. Again, I think it was very good after Bonanza, but they missed a lot of the shots, and I'm going to explain that. So, for example, we have Ash Blossom Joyous Spring, alternate art, down. Now, of course, like, overall, I would think that the OG artwork for Ash would do better, which it has been, which is great. Nibiru, great. People prefer this this variant. You have the Bellstar, which has gone down, but again, people aren't really playing that as much. Call by the Grave, really cool artwork, but again, it depends how people are, of course, right? They'd rather just play a cheaper copy than play that one. Now, the huge issue I have with this is that the fact that they released so many different versions of Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician, with Blue Eyes, I think it was just the one version of Blue Eyes in the set. No, there were several different versions of Blue Eyes in the set. And the reason being is that now nothing's in the spotlight. You're just kind of going, oh, you guys like all of these new like artworks, right? It's just gonna work, right? Well, no, it just everything sort of just crashed out, and they don't care. That's the thing. They don't care about, like, in terms of how it's gonna affect the players afterwards. They're just trying to worry about, can we sell the products now? Good, great. Move on to the next one. Move on to the next one. Move on to the next one. And another thing too with this set, Dark Magician Arcana, right? So I'm personally gonna grab this copy just because I want it for my my collection, but they might make this a Starlight Rare. So you have to kind of consider that, like, what is going on? What are they gonna do? What are they not gonna do? And something like Go format, which you guys already know has just been like tanking. So that's pretty much dead, unfortunately. So what am I really gonna buy these higher rarity cards for, unless just for my binder, I guess? Could be a Starlight Rare though. That's the motto for like this video. Could be a Starlight Rare though. That's a nice card. Could be a Starlight Rare though. So it's just unfortunate. If you just want to buy shiny cards, hey, go right ahead, but just know the implication about it. Could go down, you know? And you would want to hope that when you buy certain cards from older formats, you're safe. It's all good at the end of the day, right? But if you can't play those formats like at locals, or maybe like a side tournament at a regional, then what are you really buying it for? But again, that's a whole other video too. So I'm gonna try to just cut it off with that. And now, like, one of the main things I want to talk about too, like one of the last ones here, is the two last main core sets we got. Main core sets, Alliance Insight, and then of course we have Duels Advance. So with these two sets, absolutely terrible in value. Now, one, Konami's forced out on that, but two, the player base is just telling them no, because we're not gonna put more money into a set that's terrible, in terms of they have all of these high rarity cards, which some of them are really nice, but at the same time, it's not worth the value. That's why you can see it here. It's reflected. It's not worth being higher. Songs of the Dominator, very cool as a Core Center Secret Rare. Again, very good card for the meta. But other than that, a lot of cards are just terrible, and they deserve this price. And it's a shame, because I actually opened up a box of Alliance Insight a few weeks ago. I got myself a Cyber Dark Worm, and that was still pretty cool to like pull it. But then when I looked at the value, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it used to be cool to pull something like awesome and then be like, wow, it's worth a lot though, you know? Maybe I can use it to trade it to get the cards I want, or just get the cash for something I need. But nowadays it's like, the excitement's down. And they did this. Like, I think that they can definitely fix it. Will they? Who really knows? And then, again, we look at Duelist Advance. Really, it was just Vanquish Soul Holly Sue, which was $40-45 for a single copy of it. Not even the quarter century, the Starlight Rare version. Now I'm getting myself confused. Quarter century secret rares, Starlight Rare, they're both shiny. This is a shiny version, right? So the ultra rare here, like, I just don't understand. Like, it's just down. Everyone's just been selling it 16, 17 bucks when it was like triple the price, like almost triple the price. It's just kind of insane to think. And when it comes to the new set, right, the main set, Doom of Dimensions, I don't know how that's gonna go, but hopefully it's not third time's the charm, because it's just gonna end up like this. So overall, I just think that they can definitely fix it, right? They have to stop trying to just override every single set. Like, imagine it as a Pokemon save file. I know, random, but you're just overriding your save every single time, and then going, oh, it's gonna work this time, it's gonna work this time, it's gonna work this time, it's gonna be fine. But then you've already neglected the past saves. So I know, huge rant, a lot to discuss, a lot to digest with this one, but I'm just curious again what you guys think. Let me know down below. I think that moving forward, it's just going to be me with my current cards, like my current decks that I'm with. I'm probably not going to really lean too much towards newer decks unless they're slightly cheaper. I'm not going to invest heavily into like meta like that. I have all my staples, which you guys definitely should be having regardless of what deck you are playing. And if you want to be a collector, you can be a collector. Just be a smart collector. Collect sealed, collect older cards. Edison cards seem to be doing really well lately as well. Go, you can still play Go with your friends, and you can find tournaments for that. You know, go ahead and do that, but it's just not supportive of Konami. And again, definitely I can answer any questions. And if you guys want a follow-up video, I can definitely do another follow-up video. But overall, guys, I just hope that our game makes it through. Like, our boy makes it through. There's, you know, Magic the Gathering, which we will do a video about comparing on other card games. But let me stop the rant here. If you guys like the video, make sure you give it a huge like, comment down below your thoughts. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go and hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you're updated the next time I upload new videos. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day or night, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.